Hello, my name is Tom. I come to you from the North Maine woods of Maine. Today's video is going to be about map and compass. Map and compass for dummies. Now, I'm not trying to be insulting. It's just I feel that there's a simpler way of understanding how to use a compass. Today's video, I'm not going to be pulling my tinders out of a bucket of water to build a fire for you. All right, here's my spruce tinders going into the bucket of water. But I think it's just as important as being able to build a fire on the worst of conditions, no matter where you are, under any circumstances. Today is about map and compass. And I'm going to keep it as simple as I can because I feel that most of the instructional stuff out there on compasses is too complicated when it doesn't need to be for the average person that is hiking through the Maine woods, or if you're out on a canoe trip or any of that type of stuff, or hunting or fishing. But it is vital that you understand the parts of a compass, and vital that you understand how to put this compass with a map. And you should not be going into any pieces of woods that you have not already checked out a map on it, so that you have even a small idea of where you are, where you're going, and where you're headed. That's just tip number one about going into the bush, whether it be raw wilderness or whether it be even on a hiking trail that is all mapped out for you with paint and all of that. So I'm going to move on from here. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here on the introduction. All right, I keep this compass around my neck, but I also keep a knife and a ferro rod. Both of these things will affect the north needle on this compass. So if you're going to do this, you hold it way away from your head and away from your neck with all this metal on it in order to get a good reading. And even better than that, take the time to take it off and hold it out in front of you. Keep it away from your gun. Keep it away from any metal. When you see me laying a map on a table today, make sure there's no nails on it. If a nail sticking up through the bottom of a table, that magnet will magnetize to that nail. So keep that in mind when you're putting a map, when you're putting a compass on top of a map. Make sure of what it's on. It will not work on the hood of a pickup truck. It will not work on anything around your four-wheeler or your snowmobile. Make sure to get away from metal. Now, before we get started, I want you to notice what I've done with the map. I've got it laid out on a table. This is a house table. There are metal parts in it, so you have to be really careful that the metal parts don't affect your needle. See this with my hunting knife? This is what I mean by metal and a magnet. See that? You should be able to see that knife can do anything it wants to with that magnet. So you definitely don't want, now see, you get about, maybe out to the outer edges. You actually got to get about 2 feet away from that map before that knife. See my knife? I'm way over here on the edge. And look at that needle. That needle still wiggles. Nowhere near as much as when you get it around it. Now when you get a map, the first thing you need to do is you need to look down here at the bottom of the map. This is the scales, okay? This will tell you, these little boxes here, this scales tells you what information you need to know about that box. Why is that box important? Because on this map, each one of these boxes is a kilometer. So you can count from Richardson Lake here. We'll go here to the half. There's about a half a box. So that's half a kilometer. If I want to go over here to Black Brook Cove, you can count the boxes. 1 box, 2 boxes and a half. So that's about 2.5 kilometers from Richardson Lake to Black Coves. You can figure out how much you're going to be going, all right? But what you want to take a map, now let's do the map. On every one of these maps, the top is always north. The bottom is always south. The right-hand side is always east. And the left-hand side is always west. Always, always, always. So the first thing you want to do is take out your compass. lay your map on a surface that's not going to affect your needle, and you want to zero this compass. This is what's called a set and forget compass. I think they're perfect for people that are new to this. I don't think that they're complicated at all. I have been using a compass like this for 30 plus years. So you want to zero your compass. See this little arrow? Take your compass. Don't worry about the needle inside. The compass is covered with degrees. You don't worry about that. Don't worry about this needle at all at this point. What you want to do is take your compass, bring the 0 up, put it directly on the arrow. That means north. You can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's an N there for north in the arrow. So that's called zeroing your compass. Now at that point, you want to take your compass now, and these lines that are in here, these are what's called magnetic north. Take your compass, line it up on that line exactly. Actually, I'm going to move the map so that you can see. See how that compass now is not on? Let me pull this out. See how that compass now? Now this map, I got my compass laid on the map so that it's pointing due north according to the map. But now all that you need to do is orientate the map so that the map lines up. You want to it's called putting it in the barn. If you can see in the bottom of this compass, I'll show it up close here in a few minutes. If you look in there in red, you'll see the red barn. What you want to do when you're orientating your map is this needle over here. You want to park that needle in the barn or the garage, whatever you want to call it. Or maybe we want to call it bushcraft shelter. At this point, you want to orientate that map. So the compass is setting on the line. You turn the map with the compass on it. See that? Now it's in the barn. Now the map is what's called orientated to the compass. Now the map is due north. So everything is lined up now so that you can come on here, say you want to, now we know we want to go, and at this point, it's always good to have a piece of paper with you and an ink pen or a pencil. Preferably probably a pencil, something you can sharpen. But have something with you, because even though this is what's called a set and forget compass, sometimes your brain will start playing tricks on you, and you think, "My goodness, I think I've messed up." So at this point, instead of feeling like you've messed up, you're going to want to write down some numbers. And like I said, I'm keeping this simple today. We're not going to go into anything too much because I want to keep this video as short as I can, and we will move on. Now, a lot of times you would have I won't say a lot because I never do. You want some kind of a straight edge. You see this point right here? I want to hike to that point right here. I'm setting over here on Richardson Lake. I'm right here at this campsite. All right, I pulled my canoe up. I pulled my canoe up to the landing. And now I'm going to get out. I'm going to hike over. I'm going to hike up to the top of Observatory Mountain. And when I get to the top, I'll be able to see everywhere where I want to see. And then from Observatory Mountain, I'm going to hike down over, and I'm going to spend 3 days on the tip of Black Brook Cove. So what you want to do now is you want a straight edge. Some kind of a straight edge from here to there. Then you take your compass. Set your compass over here, right up against your straight edge. So, I set my edge on my campsite where I am, and I set the other edge on the top of Observatory Mountain. See, pretty simple so far. Piece of paper and an ink pen. Now we're going to take this compass now, and we're gonna pull this up against this straight edge. See that? Now this end of the compass is setting on where my canoe is. This end is setting on the top of Observatory Mountain. So now, remember what we said about parking the needle in the barn? Well, look, the needle is still pointing north. The only thing that's changed is my compass now is pointing west. So what we got to do now is you take this dial and you turn this dial, hold the compass down, and you turn this dial until that red part of the needle is back in the bushcraft shelter. And once it's in the bushcraft shelter, you will have a degree over here. And then at this point now, you know it's, I'll take it up, you can see it. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But anyways, from my canoe to the top of Observatory Mountain has a degree of 260 degrees. Maybe you can see that. I'm not sure. But see that? 260 degrees. So now you can put this up to your neck. Don't touch this. At this point, you got 260 degrees. That's when I would write this down on a piece of paper. 260 degrees. From Richardson Lake to Observatory Mountain. You know that. You're not going to forget it. Now you have it wrote down. It is my opinion that you should never go into the woods without a compass or a map. They go hand in hand. That was what'll keep you from getting lost. If you do become twisted between the map and your compass, you should be able to figure out where you are and be able to help yourself in this situation. Do not rely on a cell phone to get you out of a pickle. In this state, a good portion of where we hunt and fish, there is no cell phone coverage. When you hike on the mountains and all of that stuff, sometimes you don't have cell phone coverage. So keep that in mind. Be self-sufficient out there. Whether you are on a hiking trail that has painted marks or whether you're out walking in the raw wilderness. There's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to the raw wilderness. People have been doing it for thousands of years, walking through the woods without painted trees. Just be comfortable with your equipment and make sure that you understand how to read a compass and a map and have a good time in the great outdoors.